What's up, guys? Nick here from Find Your Grind. Each week, Dingo and I will be bringing you brand new topics on what's going on with learning, education, and the future of work. Let's get into it. So one thing that I think is amazing is that our man Jay-Z, Roc Nation, started the company in 2008, has really grown this thing to be a dominant entertainment agency. Launched a school in Brooklyn, I believe. And the school, which I think is so amazing, is that it is centered around music, sports, and entertainment, which is really kind of the core ethos of what Roc Nation is all about. Incoming freshmen will become Roc Nation Hope Scholars and will graduate debt-free, which I think is amazing. And I think they're going to figure out, I think about a fourth of freshmen going into this first class in fall 2021, which is when this is going to happen. A fourth of the kids will receive a totally, debt-free graduation, which I think is pretty cool, man. I just like how Jay-Z's tying in his ethos and his who he is as a human to schooling. I would want to go, dude, if there was a school opportunity to go to a school that focused on music and sports management and entertainment, and I got to have internships and real experience across Long Island to be able to tap into other things and have internships. Sick.
Yeah. So it is. It's the Long Island University in Brooklyn and New York. Obviously, he grew up in Brooklyn, where he grew up, right? Grew up in Brooklyn. He's come a long way. He's been the pioneer. I think he's won 21 Grammys.
Yes.
He's produced music with Rihanna.
He is now a billionaire.
Last year was most notable for doing a partnership with Roc Nation and Roc Nation and the NFL, sorry.
Yep.
And then he choreographed and produced the halftime show.
Yeah,
with J-Lo. Yep. And so, man, it's like, I think you get to a point, and especially being who he is, his wife's Beyonce, there's nothing bigger than them, right? So it's like you've got to then eventually give back. One thing notable I wanted to discuss is the Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young School. They donated $70 million in 2013 to create their own academy at USC. So, you got to look at it. You've got the two billionaires that have, come from similar backgrounds and come from nothing and created these huge empires. And it's only the next phase is to then create a home where people can educate themselves, and you can do scholarships, and you can take people that come from the same background of theirs and give the same opportunity and the same diversity and offer the same and give back the skill sets that they have. I think that for Roc Nation and Jay-Z, this is the smartest thing you can do.
I really like the fact that there's a focus on kind of a niche, right? And there's this isn't a super wide school in terms of what they're teaching and what they're doing. It's centered around music, sports, entertainment, right? And I feel like that's kind of also leaning more towards what the future of schools and education and these systems look like, of just it doesn't have to be this kind of, linear, standardized thing. We can get into other areas of teaching and learning. And the fact that Jay-Z now will probably bring in his whole network of people and artists and, entrepreneurs and all these people to come in to actually be able to teach these kids firsthand, I think is pretty cool too,
I think something that's so notable with Jay-Z, he put out music for so long that wasn't played on the radio, but he was selling more records than anyone, right? It wasn't until he started doing collaborations with pop stars that the mainstream media was like, oh, wow, let's play Jay-Z. He had this career before he had this corporate career.
Yep.
Clothing, he destroyed clothing back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
His clothing brands and everything that he put into it. And it seems like anything he's touched, I think there's a Jay-Z color that was a Cadillac that came out.
Yep.
He's been so diverse in so many different industries. And it seems like anything he's ever touched, well, I'm sure there's been failures, but most things, it turns to gold or it's a success. So I think the power of him being so diverse and coming from the music background, or coming from the streets to the music background, and then just growing his catalog of the experience or the expert he has in so many different fields, to be able to put that into a school and say, hey, I never went to school for anything, but I've created business and won in so many different entities, and it's all over the place. Here it is, and then here's my give back. So Roc Nation Hope Scholarship recipients will be selected from a group of academically competitive, need-based first-time freshmen from New York. So all the kids have to be from New York.
It's awesome. Yeah, I think it shows, Jay-Z really shows the idea that being multidimensional today, how important that is to like span across not just one specific lane, right? Started in music, but was able to branch out into so many other areas with sports and different ventures and investments and things, which of course, you know, as an artist starting, how are you going to be able to do all those things at the same time, or at least in the beginning when you're first starting? But I think it's important today to realize how crucial it is to really be a multi-dimensional artist today, you know, across multiple industries, and figuring out ways in which all those things can kind of tie together to really help build your brand. You never know what your breakthrough is going to be necessarily. It's not, you know, you could have put out records for 10 years and never see success. But if you started that one shoe idea or that one, I don't know, random venture thing that was your side hustle that you were excited about, that popped off, that also allowed your music then to get seen. I think that's just the mentality people have to have today. It's just like not a one trajectory. It needs to be the full equation.
Yeah, I think it's diversity too. You know, like I didn't, you know, graduate high school, but here I am, you know, co-founder an education platform. But for me, it's always been, I've worked since I was a teenager, but nobody's ever asked me for a degree. It's not something I'm proud of, but like I've been working solidly since I was a teenager, but I've worked in all these different industries. And I like that where Jay-Z's coming from, and also from Jimmy Iovine and Dre, that like they come from this area as well. It's not about degrees. It's about opportunities and skill sets and showcasing your skill sets. And these academies and colleges are only going to drag out people that have special skill sets to be the next Scooter Braun, or to be the next super sports agent, or to be the next musician, or to be the next tech guy, or to be like, you know what I mean? It's like you need to be, you know, mentors are huge with us, and you need mentorship for the growth in any industry. And for Jay-Z now to be a part and have his own college and be tied to the Long Island University in Brooklyn and New York, and for Dre and Jimmy to have the USC, is like, these guys are taking the streets and taking the that they learned when they were from the industries, and they're giving it back. They're giving it back to the education system, but it's never been done like that. And I think that's something where Find Your Grind, where we've been screaming that for the last 3 years, and it only ensures what we're doing with people like this out here doing those things.
You know, it'd be a cool thought as a emerging artist trying to get your music out there, is to create like a bundle of your best songs, your 4 or 5 songs, and send that out to as many music supervisors, people working within brands that you like, obviously labels potentially to be interested, and send that stuff out to other areas that aren't just music labels, right? To get the record deal, send that stuff out across multiple, you know, industries and formats. And I think that would be a good way to look at exposing yourself in other industries, just like our man Jay-Z has done in a huge way.
So Jay-Z here, our proximity and around New York City's epicenter of music and sports clearly positions us as an offer to I can't even read that word.
What? I'll pronounce it.
No, unpropelled. Unparalleled. Unparalleled.
It's a hard word.
It's a hard word.
Yes.
Learning to access professional opportunities that will launch students to success. LIU President Dr. Kimberly Chine said in a statement, "We look forward to joining with Roc Nation to offer an unprecedented educational resource that opens up in the entertainment and sports world to a new, eager generation." Okay, before we go.
Yep.
The Jay-Z Academy or the Jimmy Iovine and and Andre Young Academy?
The Jay-Z Academy.
Where you go? You're Jay-Z.
Yeah, I'm going with Jay-Z. I'm going with Jay's Academy.
You go with Jay. I'll go to USC.
You know, I feel like, I could shoot a little more hoops, just have a little more ping pong possibly. There's a big sports focus there. So you know me, my sports.
And then who's next? Who steps up next to the plate? Is it Diddy?
It's Find Your Grind. It's Find Your Grind, because we are going to be building a school down the road, are we not?
We are.
Thank you.
We are.
Find Your Grind.
Next up, Academy, Find Your Grind University. Boom, there you have it.